Now, GBC's own Michael Beltran is the winner of this year's Pride Award. He was presented with the prize during Saturday's Pride event at Casemates, and he joins me in the studio now. Good afternoon, Michael.
Hello, Kelly. Always a pleasure to be on GT.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here, honestly. Congratulations. Now that the dust has settled, how does it feel?
It's still very surreal. I keep having to remind myself that this is a real thing that happened. I had no idea that this was going to go down. Anyone who knows me knows that I've been talking for the last month or so about who's going to get the award, because last year we knew ahead of time that it was going to be the lovely Charlie Trico. And so I spoke to Paul numerous times, and now I know why, but he wouldn't give it up. And he was like, no, it's going to be a surprise for that person too.
Well, good afternoon to Bev, who's been in touch. She says she's so pleased Michael received the well-deserved Pride Award this last Saturday. So thank you, Bev, for getting in touch on WhatsApp. Now, almost everyone in GBC knew ahead of you.
Apparently so.
Everyone managed to keep it a secret, though. You
Apparently there's a WhatsApp group as well?
Yes. We did all that. There were some messages that were relayed out to you on stage on Saturday, but I think you were so much in shock. I don't know how much you were able to process that.
No, I wasn't. There were some very familiar faces on the screen. It was a very, very lovely video. And I want to watch it back because I can't remember what everybody said. I was still a bit, in shock.
Well, we can hear a little bit now.
Okay.
I nominated you because I feel like you've done a lot for the community. I feel like being an openly gay man in broadcasting is really important for a lot of young people growing up to see that kind of representation. So thank you. And I love you.
I nominated you because I think you're such an important role model in Gibraltar, and I wonder just how many people you've inspired by being your total, authentic self.
You are a broadcaster who has honesty, integrity, you are genuine, and you are true to yourself.
You are a rainbow and one of the most beautiful people that I know. So you make me very proud to be an ally.
Michael, you are so special and so loved. I'm really proud to call you not just my colleague, but one of my best friends.
The only time I've seen you a little bit riled up is when you're fighting for injustice, because I know how much that means to you as well.
You're always so full of love and warmth and happiness, so huge congratulations to you, and you give the best hugs ever.
So deserved. Really proud of you. Well done.
Can't think of anyone more deserving of this than you. Kenamusha.
Genuinely congratulations and well done on being a great ambassador for your community.
You're an amazing advocate for the community and you're an amazing person. You bring so much lovely energy to work and I love working with you.
Thank you for being authentically yourself and being a trailblazer and a pioneer and setting an example for the younger generation.
You are an incredible person and super deserving of this award.
We've been here together for 22 years and I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the person that you've become and that you are now an award-winning gay.
Yeah. I'll take it. That was very sweet.
I'm misty-eyed. I don't know how you're keeping it together.
It's too much, man. I kept saying this to people all day because they were congratulating me, and I thought I haven't done anything, and they're like, "No, but you have." And it took me a while to really think about that a lot, and it's not something that I've ever really done consciously, I suppose. I've just been me. I've just, put my head down and got on with it, and I've never made my sexuality a part of my everyday life. Like, of course, I am who I am, but I don't really talk about it all the time because you just are. We have these great discussions at work. I mentioned this in the speech on Saturday as well, with all of our work colleagues, with my friends, with my family members. We have conversations about LGBTQ issues, so that's always really, really lovely. And I guess just, the visibility part is really sweet. It's something that I never really thought of. I didn't think that anyone would be watching me and thinking, how great is that to see an openly gay man, in broadcasting and highlighting certain things,
Good afternoon to Nick, who sent a message. He says, congratulations, well deserved. He says you're a very kind person, an important role model and inspiration for Gibraltar. So the love keeps rolling in. I can also confirm that you do give the best hugs, by the way. Now, you were saying about representation, being seen in the community. Was that ever a factor for you when you came out in Gibraltar and you went into GBC, into broadcasting? Was that ever something that you perhaps worried about or even thought about at the time?
When I started working at GBC, it was something that I didn't really talk about, and not because I was afraid. It just never really came up. And also, I was very sort of slow to, in a sense, coming out, but not in that sense, not literally coming out of my shell more than anything. I knew some of the people at GBC already when I worked here, because when I started working here, because I did work experience for many years. So it took a few years in order to sort of open up and be more open-minded. I had a partner at the time as well, and I would sometimes mention him and talk to other people about him, but it was never really a thing that I brought up a lot. So in the beginning, I was a little sort of, quiet about it, but not necessarily out of fear or anything. It was just not something that I spoke about.
On a more unpleasant note, there was a minor interruption on Saturday, just before actually you received the award. There was someone in Casemates who was publicly critical about the LGBTQ plus community, and I believe he was escorted away. There have also been hateful comments on social media during the month of Pride, and in particular on Saturday. Do you see these as perhaps reminders about why Pride still needs to be, a way to promote awareness and acceptance?
Absolutely. I saw those comments and I saw the individual in question, and there's been a couple of individuals who've come into Gibraltar to be disruptive about certain issues. And it's just such an affront to the sort of harmonious community that we have in Gibraltar when it comes to anything, really, when it comes to community, when it comes to faith, when it comes to all those things. And the comments, they're not surprising. I mean, this is why the committee was created back in the day with Lorraine Oliveira, who I've interviewed many times. Now Paul El Perez is the committee chair. This is why the committee was created, because you saw these comments when they changed the traffic light design to make it, the LGBTQ symbol. And I've been seeing it all weekend, because just yesterday was International Pride Day. The 28th of June was when the Pride movement really started in New York. And there were all these posts on social media from all these different organizations, promoting it and supporting it and celebrating it. And then you read the comments, which you should never do, because they're almost always negative. And that is a constant reminder of what is still happening. When people ask the question, why do we still need Pride? You're answering your own question, really, because you're having to ask that question. One of the things that I learned interviewing Lorraine Oliveira over the years when she was chair of the committee was she always said it was about education. And I never really understood what she meant initially. But it really is about that. It's ignorance at the end of the day. And if you educate yourself as to why Pride exists, what are the issues that people are facing today? Why are there still issues that people face today? We've just had our 5th Pride in Gibraltar. There are countries around the world that don't get to celebrate Pride. Look what's happened in Hungary in just the last year. There's been a change of government there, and Pride, anything LGBTQ, was banned there, and they just held their first Pride in many, many years there. So it's ever evolving. It never goes away. And that's why it's not just a celebration with lots of color and music and drag queens and all that sort of thing. It's also a serious message as well. And you're reminded about it almost on a daily basis, particularly in June.
Are you hopeful for the future of younger generations in Gibraltar?
I think so, yeah. That's another thing I've learned as well about hanging out with the younger generation at these events at Pride and all the other LGBTQ events that they hold during the year, monthly, is that you connect with these younger people who are so visible in a way that I never was, and other people growing up my age weren't either. I talked about this on the speech on Saturday about how I never felt unwelcome in Gibraltar, but there was never a place to go. We would go, to different bars and clubs or whatever, and you always felt welcome. You never felt like you were going to be judged. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I can't really, really be myself. That's changed now. I mean, the younger generation are doing such a good job of, actually, they're the ones that are demanding that things like Pride happen. They're the ones that are attending. They're the ones that are going all out. When I was walking back and forth from Casemates, I saw young people sitting in different parts of Gib, taking a break from what was happening in Casemates with their flags tied around like it was a cape, and things like that. And they're just very visible. And I think that is a good indicator of where things are going. You're always going to find people that push back. There are young people who are anti-LGBTQ. That's going to happen. But it's all about changing minds and telling them, look, it's not something to be afraid of. It's not something that you have to try and deconstruct. Just understand what a person's lived experience is. I think.
And just to end on Michael, you've been described as an inspiration, a role model. You are, of course you are. So what would you like to say to perhaps any future little Michael Beltrans who maybe aren't out yet, don't feel like they can, might even want a career in broadcasting or in any other field? What would you like to say to someone young listening to this today?
Gosh, me giving advice. I just say be yourself, and I don't even have to tell people to do that because you're seeing it already with the younger generation. It's tough. It's still difficult. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a young person in this day and age, in school age in particular, because we didn't have social media back in our day. But nowadays, I can only imagine with social media being ever present in your life and being bombarded with all sorts of negative comments and messages. You just got to put that to one side. Be who you want to be, and find that easy for me to say, found family, because sometimes it's very, very difficult. Not everybody has a positive coming out story. Some do, and that's great, and you have a community and a family there. But find a found family if you can, and just continue to be you, and push back on things if there's any sort of discrimination. If you come across that, you should not be stopped from getting to where you want to be because of who you are. That shouldn't be happening in 2026. So that would be my message. It's just continue to be who you are.
Thank you so much. Michael Beltran, the 2026 Pride Award winner. We're very proud of you.